Hello there, hello there, hello there, hello there. Welcome back to the Agostinho Zinga show with your host, Agostinho Zinga, and this is episode number 967. That is episode number 967 of the Agostinho Zinga show, coming at you live and direct from an undisclosed location somewhere within the depths of East London. It's the greatest cultural commentary show in the world. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? I'm good, man. Thank you for asking. I'm good. I know you're well. I can tell by the sound of your voice you're well. But thank you for asking. I'm doing far better, much better, on the mend, on the rise, standing up tall with my chest up high. Not too high, because if I put it too high in the sky, I might catch a cold. But I'm here. I'm queer and I'm ready to rock. And I hope you're ready to rock with me too. It's been a mad one, man. It's been a mad one. I think when you get ill, you start to reflect on your own, you know, on the fragility of your life, on the fragility of your existence. You start to reflect on all the time that you've wasted. You start to reflect on the things and the hopes and the dreams that you've had in the year. But you know what happens? You end up being just grateful that you're still alive. You have a lot of just a lot of humility. That's what happens to me. I don't think I end up feeling like Superman like I did when I was younger, when I'm on the mend, but I do end up feeling a lot of humility. I feel a lot more humble than I usually am, and I'm feeling like things are only going to get better between now and the end of the year. It's been a bit of a crazy year for me. I'm sure for some of you it's been a bit crazy too, but I have a feeling for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know what the feeling is. I don't know what's actually going on out there. I haven't seen anything to kind of give me this feeling, but I just have a feeling that this end of the year is going to be absolutely insanely cool, insanely fun, insanely prosperous, insanely just beneficial for everybody out there. So it doesn't seem like it. I know it's very cold out there. I know the fucking weather's turned and it's kind of grey and it's kind of dark. I was one of those people who unfortunately was praying for these days, so I apologize to all of you sun nagas, or you sun chasers out there, or you vitamin D fucking fanatics. I'm sorry, because I think I'm partly to blame for this drudgery, this cold that we're experiencing now in London. But I still have a feeling, that it will turn around. It will eventually turn around and we'll end up having a great year. Weather aside, we'll end up having a great year. It'll be one of those weird years where like it doesn't feel like we're having a great year, but we will be having a great year because it will just end well. Even though the weather might not be great, it will somehow end well. I've been on a bit of a mad one here because I was trying to free up some room on my iPhone because my iPhone storage is now all the way blocked up and clogged up, right? I'm kind of, regretting not getting a bigger space phone when I first got my phone in the first place, because I think at the moment I've got 250 gigabytes. I think, is that what I've got? 250 gigabytes. How much? What do I have? Yeah, I have an iPhone with 256 gigabytes, and I'm already over the limit, right? Way over the limit. Now, what I tried to do was I tried to delete my library of downloaded songs from my Apple Music. When you go into your iPhone settings, there's a settings where you can go to iPhone storage, and there used to be an ability, not anymore anyway now, but there used to be an ability where you could just say edit, delete, and it'll delete all the songs on there. Now I tried to delete 156 GB, but it didn't delete it all. It's such a weird thing. If you delete the app, so with the Apple Music, I've got to find out. There's something that I'm not really doing right, but with the Apple Music app, if you try to delete the app altogether, it doesn't delete your downloaded songs, because that's the thing that's messing me up. Because I think I'm one of those freaks that I would always download the songs. I don't just leave them in my library. I don't just stream them. I like to have them downloaded so I don't have to like use data, whatever. I just like to have them the physical thing on my phone. But then it takes up too much room. It takes up too much space. Specifically 158 gigabytes, right? It's too much. So I tried to delete all of the songs that I downloaded on my phone. I pressed it and it said it deleted it, but it didn't really. There was still all the stuff on there. Now when I go on there again, it says all songs, it says 11 GB. But it's like, I don't know if it's deleting it in like phases, if you have to do it individually, each album. It's just a weird process, man. It really doesn't work the way it says it's meant to work. But I'm kind of thinking now, when I do eventually, because at the moment I'm rocking the what? I'm rocking the 14, iPhone 14 Pro Max. But I'm thinking there will come a time when I want to upgrade. I don't know when it will be. I'm probably going to wait until there's a real big leap technologically when it comes to iPhones. I don't really think there's been much of a big leap. I think, you know, because I was one of those weirdos, because I think, oh yeah, I upgraded for this, innit? So I had this first, innit? So which one's this one? I upgraded from my red iPhone to the one that I have now. So my red iPhone is a, which one is that one? Let's see. The red iPhone is an iPhone 12. So I did pretty good. I went from a 12 to a 14. That was a big jump, right? Going from a 12, a red, you know, the red edition 12. I went from a red edition 12 to a 14 Pro Max. That was like, you know, buying a fucking, you know, M5 MacBook Pro. So I'm going to wait until there's a big leap after the 14. I think now we're like, what? We're on like iPhone 17, aren't we? I think we're on 17. Maybe I wait until like 20 or something. And when there's a really big leap, maybe it's going to be super thin or something crazy. And then I'll get that change. But when I do get it, I might be one of those freaks. I thought I'd never be that guy, but I think I might be one of those freaks that buys a terabyte one. I might be one of those freaks that buys a terabyte iPhone, because I just got too much stuff, man. My memory just goes so quickly. I might need a terabyte. I might be one of those fucking freaks that needs a fucking terabyte. Or instead of carrying a power bank, I'm gonna start carrying like an extra fucking an extra storage thing on the back of the phone, you know? I need it, bro. I fucking need it. I swear to God, because god damn it. Oh, I need it. I need it so bad. I need it so bad. But yeah, here we are. We're rocking with the free world. Big up everybody tuning in. Yo, big up the stream chatters. What are you guys saying? Big up Lucas Sharon. I see you. What you saying? My guy, have you seen the Corsica Studios lineups? Or Origins is doing nights with Ren? Yeah, actually, yeah. Thank you for reminding me, actually. I've actually got the Fold November lineup here also that I wanted to double check over. But let me just double check the didn't I? I think I spoke about the Corsica Studios lineup. I'm pretty sure I did. Let me just quickly check, because I was talking about the laundrette night that happened recently, but let me just see. I think they got a quite, yeah, there we go. It's cool. They've got a cool flyer about it as well there. So let's just double check this. Let's go over this. Big up Lucas Sharon for the heads up still. Let's go through this quickly before we get onto anything else, yeah? So let's just put this over here. Let's put that over there. Let's put this over there. So let's go. So first things first, let's just go for the Fold lineup, right? Because I was actually there the other day. So big up my Fold man them, big up all the Fold gal them. I was actually there the other day. It actually might have been the spot where I died. I'm not gonna lie, that might be the spot where I died, where I caught my virus. I'm not really too sure, but I was there for the neighborhood 15th anniversary. Didn't stay the longest. I was there for about 4 hours or so. Had a bit of a blast. Was a little bit too twisted when I got there, not gonna lie. Might have been a little bit too twisted when I got there, not gonna lie. I may or may not have spent most of my time sitting on the benches on the way to or sitting inside that little room, that little section, that little bit, just, you know, past the toilets before you get to the outside, that little square bit. I might have been sitting on those benches for a while, you know, asking some friendly strangers that are passing by whether or not I looked a little bit twisted or not, you know. Do I look fucked up? With my jaw swinging all over the place? But it was good. It was fun to be back in there. I'm not gonna lie. It seems like, again, from the outside looking in, I haven't been there in a long time. It's been a year, so it's probably makes sense. But I feel like all the staff that work there have changed, isn't it? Maybe it's just me. When I went there on that was that Friday or Saturday, whenever that was, I feel like all the staff there have changed. The bouncers, I still recognize a few of them, but the staff behind the bar, whatever else, people wandering around, that one role of that person, I don't know why it is. I feel like whenever, for some reason, I don't know why they do that at Fold, but whatever that role is, where the person just walks around the fucking dance floor and makes sure people are not going too crazy or no one's freaking out. For every reason, they always hire like really like butch looking lesbians. Like super, like the kind of lesbians that will beat you up, you know, that kind of type. They look like they mean business for some reason. So there was a new one of those. The person that had the walkie-talkie. There was a new one of those that I saw walking around. She was kind of on job, making sure the fucking dance floor was patterned. But then behind the bar, I saw a couple of people I don't recognized. Seems like there's a lot of change over there, man. A lot of change working in clubland. A lot of change in the scene. Everyone's changing. Everyone's changing. But anyway, Fold details November program. Let me see what they're saying. What are these guys saying then? What are these guys fucking saying? So, coming a month after the Cunning Town will feature a number of standout names. So this is what I went to last weekend. So I went to that already. Was it last weekend or weekend before that? Wow, time has gone by quickly, innit? Anyway, so I went to that. That was pretty decent. See Neighborhood, 15th anniversary or party thing. That was quite fun. What else happened? This past that's on the 7th. That's already gone past. Transmission with DJ Nobu I missed, unfortunately. So what's happening this weekend? This weekend is Boudica. Nice. This weekend is Boudica and Gigan, actually. Boris back to back with fucking Samantha Torghini. That's going to be a fun one. Hannah Holland, Geneva, Lolo, and Mars. And was that Maris playing? That's going to be a good one. I've already saved it as well, so I know that's going to be a fucking good one. That's going to be... Oh, I wish they had an Unfold on that weekend instead, man. Then on the Saturday, there's a Third Room club night. Oh, it's Third Room, the same people that do Stone Techno Festival then. That's interesting, isn't it? So the same people that do Stone Techno Festival are doing a night at fucking Fold called Third Room Club Tour Extended. They're going to have Adriana Lopez, Amit Sisman, Dasha Roosh, Dold, Felix Fleur, Mola, Norbak, Paula Kowski, Pearl, and someone called VNN. I know the founder of Stone Techno Festival. I'm pretty sure the founder of Stone Techno Festival does DJ himself. I don't know which one he is though, but I'm pretty sure he DJs. So I wonder where that's going to happen. What a ticket price is saying. 20. Oh, it's just expensive going out these days, isn't it? 28 quid. Okay, so Boudica's happening this Friday. I might actually go to that, actually. I might actually have to pop into Boudica on the Friday. We got a Cartillas night happening on the Saturday as well. Oh, so there's 2 events happening on Fold at the same night. That's on 12 to 11. And when is the Cartillas 16th anniversary happening then? Oh, so are they in different rooms? They must be in different rooms. Maybe one's in the steam room or something. I don't know. Okay. So two nights happening at once. I'm not mad at that. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry, it's another day. What am I talking about? I'm a fucking idiot. That's the 15th. That's the 22nd. That's the week after. My bad. There's a Labyrinth night also happening featuring Daphne, open to close. I haven't heard of Labyrinth doing events in time, so big up Labyrinth. Good to see that they're still out there putting on events. Daphne playing to open to close. Wow, look at the attendance. Big up Labyrinth, still doing a damn thing. 2.7 thousand people have registered their interest. Fucking hell. Okay, then on that 23rd of November, there's an Unfold. How many Unfolds is there in a month? They're banging out the Unfolds, isn't it? 1, 2. 2 Unfolds in a month. Fucking hell, pretty good. And then there's a Dax. Okay, ooh. This looks fun, innit? That looks fun. Who's playing? Origins, Dax J, all night long. Main room, Dax J, Steam room, Gareth Wild, Kessie, Tasman, and Theo Nasha. That's a fucking sick lineup, I'm not gonna lie. I might have to fucking save that. That's a sick lineup at the end of the month. That is a proper decent lineup, that. So yeah, Fold have not killing about, and then the last night of the month is Fold presents non-series. This is in another club night. It's not Resistance, it's not the other. So they've got quite a few little club nights, isn't it? They've got Unfold, they've got Resistance, they've got non-nights, and what's everything they also got? Yeah, cool. So what's this about? What's non-nights? Non-series, sorry. Fold presents non-series. Fold presents non-series, deep service for one night only this November. Long-time custodians of techno's deeper depths, non-series have behind techno's most atmospheric. Oh, it's just okay. So it's not a Fold night. It's Fold inviting a label, I'm assuming, to do their night. Okay, long-time custodians of techno's deepest depths, non-series have been behind some of the many techno's atmospheric releases over the past decade. Each one an instant timeless classic devoid of dated trends. Its stripped back aesthetics and minimalistic design has kept the Spanish label at the very forefront of the dance music and its peers. High quality, no nonsense techno in its purest form, and most authentic form. Tickets available now. Okay, what's the lineup? You got Altin Bass back to back with GGFM, Bass Dobler, No, I wonder why they do that. By the way, why does it say Altimbas X GGFM instead of just saying back to back? I wonder why that's different like that. Very strange. Jin Synth, Laura BCR, Bass Doubler versus back to back. Sorry, with Vera Logdanidi, Laura BCR, Peter Van Hossen, Psych, Tausetti, Varde, and Voice Drone. Okay. Not a mad night, actually. That's a pretty interesting night. Spanish label. So I'm assuming there'll be a lot of Spanish people out there tonight or on that night. End of the month, there'll be a lot of Spaniards out there, I'm assuming, because they usually support their people in it. But pretty decent nights happening. I'm pretty pissed off. I missed DJ Nobu and D Dan, but I was ill, so that wasn't going to happen. I might need to check out Boris and Samantha Tognin playing back to back. I'm not going to lie, and Hannah Holland too, and see what my girl Lolo's saying as well behind the decks. Might have to go check that out on the 14th. This is happening what? This is this weekend actually on a Friday. I might have to check out Fold on a Friday. Just the ticket prices though, innit? 30 quid. Fucking hell. Fucking hell, mate. Fold is not for the faint hearted, innit? 30 fucking quid, bro. Before you've even had a bump, before you've had a drink, before you've had a smoke. 30 hard earned dollars. So much. But anyway, big up them. So moving on from that one, let's go through Corsica Studios November program. Big up Corsica Studios. We've missed already quite a few. So let's see what they've got coming up now. So Corsica Studios coming up. They have on the 12th. That's the one we need to see. The 12th is a night bus event featuring special guests. We don't know who's playing. We've got somebody called Kaya playing on the 13th. We've got an Insomnia night with Osman, DJ and Kim Sini and more. On the 14th, there's a Wigflix night, extra long, featuring Lucas Wigflix and special guest. On the 15th, another Labyrinth presents. Big up Labyrinth, man. They're all over the place. Labyrinth are all over the place this month. Love to see it. Labyrinth also doing an event with someone called Camoufly extended set. On the 16th, there's a Joyride night happening with Yazzus, Dark Mavis, and In the Flow. Is Joyride the magazine? I wonder who's doing Joyride. Is that Joyride the magazine or something else? Let's see. 16th Joyride. What's Joyride? Or is Joyride that sex rave? Oh, okay, that's what it is. Cool. I'm about to say. I knew Joyride. I thought it was a magazine, but I think Joyride's the kink night, innit? So Joyride the kink night is happening on Corsica Studios. Might have to check that out then on the 16th, right? On the 16th, 14th. Okay, cool. 18th you've got a CDR night, artist talk. 19th you've got featuring Yusu, 19th you've got Frank Hopkins, Logo Mix playing. On the 20th you've got Wetlands and Adele Denzin. 20th you've got Insomnia London night happening featuring Nancy June, Fresh Star, someone called Elishu and more. 21st you've got a Rhythm Labs 6th birthday featuring Justin J, Doghead Surgery, Niku Nejad. On the 22nd, you got One Glove IRL featuring Maka, Sophie K back to back with Nadia Kasabi and Social Record Society. 25th, you got Maxin Night. 26th, you got an Algorave featuring Hello Cat Food, James Holden, Nadia, hashtag Pasta Gang, and Portal. What's that? Or Portai Shoe, or Portal's Shore, or Portai Shoe, whatever that how you pronounce that one. 27th you got Lauren Dufus playing. 27th you've got Insomnia night happening. What else? Zebra Gremlins, Rupture night happening, birthday party on the 28th. Part 1 featuring Seba, Gremlins, Mantra, De Cible, 00, Foreplay. On the 19th, you got on the 29th, you've got the part 2 of the 19th birthday of Rapture featuring Fabio, DJ Harmony, Dijin, Stretch. On the 30th, you've got another Joyride night happening with Jay Duncan, Claude Knight, and Noah Priddle and Steel. Okay, I ain't mad at that. You know what? I also want to see. Let me just see if they got, because that listing is a bit hard to read still. They've got like a regular one. Of course, I didn't write that correctly. Let me just quickly see if they've got like a regular that I can just see. Corsica Studios. Let me see. Boom, boom, Corsica. Bum, bum, bum. Let's see if I can get it just on RA. I want to see if they've got listings so I can just see all the things listed easy as I just scroll down. Let me see, because it's not open for long, innit? Labyrinth, Joyride, CDR night happening, Rhythm Labs, One Glove night we saw already, Insomnia night happening, Rapture night happening, Spare Head night happening. Oh, Philippa Pasha playing on when? The 6th. Nice. Origin night. Okay, I'm gonna have to save that one. Snooze Hours featuring Yant, FC Nocturne, Aofi and Sophie. Insomnia London night happening as well. Planet People, Shared, Prevalist, special guest. That looks pretty decent. I'm gonna have to save that too. 106 Unity, London is Burning, DJ Phil, Big Dope. Quite a lot of good nights, man. Shit. I'm gonna have to take a longer, harder look at all this. Let's see. Let me load a few more events and then we're gonna continue on. What else we got there? December, Planet Dope, Rhythm Section, last one, New Year's Eve Rave, Tessellate. Okay, cool. Lone, Mr. Scruff playing Origins, Renee Wise, lot next year in February with Gloria Rose and Suos. And is that tickets already available for that? Are they selling? Yeah. Fucking hell, sold pretty quickly. Fuck me. Okay, cool. Looking forward to it. Check out Corsica Studios. November program available now on Instagram. Fold program also available now on Instagram and also on RA. If you want to check it easy to kind of scroll through, it's probably better to go on RA. So definitely, I'll put those links in the description for those of you to check out if you want. For those of you to check out if you fucking want. Talking about things to check out, right? Can we talk a little bit about Traplo Ross? Can we talk a little bit about Traplo Ross and what's going on with that guy? He recently sat down with Vlad. I'm not going to play the video because obviously Vlad loves to fucking copyright strike everything and block it. No, not copyright strike. He blocks videos. You can't even react to his videos. He just blocks them straight up. But essentially, Traplo Ross sat down with Vlad TV and they essentially went over Traplo Ross's interaction or altercation with Central Cee's manager YB's when Central Cee was out in LA for Complex Con or wherever it was, Las Vegas, LA, wherever the fuck it was. He was out there for Complex Con promoting all his stuff. I think he had the booth where he was showcasing all his collaborations, and then he was talking to academics on live stream, and then Traplo Ross rolled by, said hi to Central Cee. Central Cee kind of, you know, awkwardly shook his hand, said it was all cool. Didn't really seem that bothered, but obviously Central Cee's manager came out of nowhere and basically put it on Traplo Ross and told him to get the fuck out of the booth, and essentially made it very clear that, you know, Central Cee and his team are not friends, or Central Cee, his team aren't fucking his friends, don't want anything to do with him. And Traplo Ross used the opportunity to essentially just keep on trolling. He kind of said some comments about Central Cee being a sweetheart, said something about how he tried to make it seem as if like he got the better of the YB's interaction, and he took a lot of pleasure out of like getting under their skin, getting a reaction from them. He seemed to really enjoy the fact that he's inserted himself into, I guess, Central Cee's journey, Central Cee's fucking success, the conversation around him as an artist. He's just really seemed to really take a lot of pleasure in like inserting himself in that regard, because the documentary that he made, which obviously you would imagine probably didn't sit well with Central Cee's camp. For what I remember watching it, because it's been a while since I watched it, but what I remember when I watched it was that it did feel quite vindictive. It did feel like Central Cee was Traplo Ross was going out of his way to try to to I guess pour some cold water on Central Cee's success, to try his best to kind of make it very known that Central Cee isn't who he is, and kind of took a lot of pleasure in trying to expose or trying to show us what the real Central Cee looks like, or whatever else it may be. And he did it all with the proviso that Digga D's the realer one. It seemed strange. That's what I got from the documentary. I got from the documentary that he wanted everyone to know that Digga D's the realer one of the two. If you want to support one of them, that's the one that's actually doing what he says he's doing. Central Cee is actually living a life that's not real. But the funny thing is about it, what I've always kind of thought was interesting, Traplo Ross clearly prefers Digga D over Central Cee. Maybe he just doesn't like Central Cee and just uses Digga D as a way to get back at Central Cee. I don't know. But either way, let's just say he prefers Digga D over Central Cee. The funny thing is, I don't get the feeling that Digga D even rates Trap Lord Ross. So even though Digga D doesn't like Central Cee either, and they don't get along, right? They've got kind of ongoing beef. I don't even think Digga D would be cool to like get down with fucking Trap Lord Ross, because he's such a neek, innit? He's such a dork. He's such a, you know, whatever, how he comes across. I just don't think he would be down for it. So it's an interesting conundrum. It's an interesting situation that Trap Lord Ross has got himself in, where he's trying to play favorites, right? He's trying to get himself involved in the narrative. He's trying to insert himself into these storylines with his artists, but neither party really gives a fuck about him like that. And the one that he's trying to kind of like, you know, chummy up to doesn't even want him, you know, doesn't even want him on his side, even if it means dissing the guy that he's in kind of war with. So I find that interesting. So Trench magazine actually spoke about it a little bit, just, you know, overall about Trap Lord Ross's increasing influence and the fact that he's changing a bit, isn't it? Which is unfortunate, because when Trap Lord Ross first came on the scene, I really enjoyed what he did, mainly because of the long form documentary nature of what he did. It kind of give it, you know, there was a little bit of a journalistic, you know, weight to it. It seemed like he took a lot of pleasure, a lot of time in really telling the story of what went on behind some of these like gang beefs and rapper beefs and shit. He really tried to add a lot of historical context to it and try to humanize it. He didn't, I don't know, I never got the feeling that he was laughing and cheering along from the sidelines. It wasn't like a Warren Chirac situation. He really tried to make really high quality documentaries, and for the most part he did a good job. Like that King Von one is still fucking really good when you think back to like what he was able to piece together. Obviously the serial killer angle of it was a little bit excessive, but I think overall, in terms of like telling the story of how King Von came to be and how he met his demise, I thought he did a good job of kind of like knitting all that stuff together. But lately it seems very obvious that he's kind of changed his ways. He's now being a bit more of a reactionary guy. He's now being a lot more combative. He's now being a lot more incendiary. He's now being a lot more he's being a lot more no jumpery with it, if that makes any sense, right? He's clearly trying to pit people against each other. He's trying to instigate but not instigate, you know, loads of weird stuff, like throwing stones, hiding his hands, loads of strange things, which I guess makes sense because that form of content creation does make a lot of money. It does get you a lot of views, so he's probably getting a lot of notoriety. He's getting very popular out there in the United States. He's almost become like the de facto UK voice for the States as well. So that maybe some of that fame is getting to his head. I don't know, but it's been quite sad to see in general. But let's hear what Trent has been able to put together and how they're presenting it. They said Trap Lord Ross has overstepped the mark. Let's read. To be truthful, at first I was a fan of Trap Lord Ross's work. I agree, me too. Big up Yami Abiadi or Abidi? Abiadi. Big up Yemi, just to say Yemi. Big up Yemi. To be truthful, at first I was a fan of Trap Lord Ross's work. Stumbling across a video assessing the rise and fall of Rockefeller Records in the early 2000s, the young YouTuber from Bognor Regis appeared refreshing. With detailed analysis and timely humor, he put a new spin on the old story, and from there, I followed his videos and the beef between Pusha T and Drake, the collapse of the Joe Budden podcast, and even the UK rap and grime scenes pulling up with the Kanye West and the 2015 Brit Awards. But as I write this and scroll through his YouTube channel, the red flags are evident from the start. Yeah, and I think the red flags should be evident from when he covered 6ix9ine. I didn't like his coverage of 6ix9ine. I didn't enjoy that. Like all the eating the cheese, the rat emoji things, doing your hair with the rainbow things, calling him out for not being real. It's like, bro, like, I understand 6ix9ine snitched and stuff, but just because somebody snitches doesn't mean you, the regular civilian, have any place to kind of be pointing fingers and calling people snitches. Do you know? Like, you would probably do the same, if not worse, in the same position. And just because somebody that lives that lifestyle is deemed to be, that's something people I think forget. If somebody from that, you know, from that walk of life, from the streets, is deemed to be a POSSY, just because they are POSSY amongst other gangsters doesn't mean they're not doesn't mean they're POSSY to you, you know? So I really got a bit put off when he was like going extra hard on 6ix9ine. Only now, however many years later, he's now on stream with him, giggling and kikiing and whatnot. So I found that a little bit weird. But anyway, let's digress. Back to Trench. Over time, Trapper Ross, real name Charles Ross, was chosen to speak on more controversial topics in both the UK and the US rap. Those that often involve physical, legal, or metaphorical beef of all of the above. As his fan base grew, he doubled down, pivoting to what he is now exclusively known for: reports on violence and gang warfare involving rappers from all over the world, which often spill into the music. Whether it's London, New York, Chicago, or Australia, he channels the energies into in-depth timelines of murders, his diss tracks and violent events, and he takes his videos away from analytical to straight up sensationalist, provoking all shades of reactions. Yeah, to be fair, I don't really mind too much of that. I feel like a lot of these guys put a lot of their stuff online anyway. They leave the breadcrumbs for people to fucking pick up and shit and put the story together, so it's not that big of a deal. I just don't like how he's doing the Central Cee shit, because I feel like he is purposely trying to insert himself into drama. He's trying to create drama, insert himself into it, and make himself a part of the storyline. You know, I don't like that side of things. You're not that important. You know, you're really not that important. You never will be in that shape of in that scheme of things, I think. But he's trying to, and he's almost trying to like play a hand at trying to bring someone's career down, which I also don't like. If you don't like somebody, don't like them, but actively going out of your way to try and end their career because what, they're not as real as somebody else that you prefer, just seems a bit odd to me. Ross's videos on the UK rap scene are particularly puzzling, one of which, titled "The Deadly Gang War Behind Central Cee," attempts to expose the West London rapper as a fraud, an internet gangster with no real street credentials. That currently sits at 1.1 million YouTube views at the time of writing. Meanwhile, his video on the street beats between North London's OFB and N9 bases for Head Day 1 and Tion Wayne respectively has 3.3 million views. So it's clear virality has stemmed almost solely off of the pain of others and the street politics that can unfortunately spill into the bloodshed. It's brought him a level of relevance where he can now rub shoulders with another controversial commentator in DJ Academics and think it's cool to refer to a rapper like Digga D as a demon and the biggest gangster in West London, or double down on calling Sench fake. Now, I don't mind him detailing the war between OFB and N9. I don't mind even him detailing the war between fucking Central Cee and fucking Digga D and trying to put the pieces together and trying to make sense of it and add context to this and that. But what I don't like is him inserting himself into the stories. That's what I'm starting to see more and more. Like, just even the fucking complex con thing with Central Cee. He seems to be taking great pleasure in the fact that he created a moment. Like, he had like a bit of, he went viral because of that interaction. He seems to take pleasure in referring to Central Cee as a sweetheart, a cupcake, or whatever he said, mocking YBs. It's like, brother, like, if these guys catch you on your own, you won't be talking like this. So I don't know why you're speaking with such bravado and bass in your voice. Like, it's not even necessary too. You don't even need to be like on some tough guy shit. Just report on what you saw. I don't know. Like, he could have genuinely, because I don't even think his attempt to try and shake Central Cee's hand or to try and introduce himself and whatever, say hello, I don't even think that was genuine. I think he did all of that for the sole purpose of having a moment because he saw the cameras are there, he went to do something. But if he did want to have a conversation and then he reported on it later, I think that'd been perfectly fine. Imagine he went to complex. Imagine that didn't happen on camera and he reported after the fact, hey, I tried to say what's up to Central Cee, but I understand. And even to say what's up to Central Cee, why say, just think about it actually, why say Wagwan to Central Cee when you made that documentary? I don't understand it. Like, why should he be cool? Why should he be put in a position where he has to be cool because he did the right thing, Central Cee, in that moment? If he would have kind of crashed out, he would have looked fucking dumb and it would have come back to bite him and it would have been bad for his image, blah, 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 blah. So Central Cee was put in a corner where he kind of had to shake fucking, you know, Trapper Ross's fucking hand and be cool with it. Of course, YB doesn't have that obligation because he's not the fucking front-facing star and shit. But still, I thought that was really unnecessary. You know, putting those guys in that position when you know full well they have every reason not to like you because you made a 4-hour documentary essentially calling into question his fucking credibility in a way, not to be dramatic, but basically trying to take away his livelihood. You know, just a bit much. Like, you can say you don't like the music. You can say you don't like the music, you can say you think he's a bit fake or whatever, or he comes across a bit da-da-da-da, but the way that he was trying to say that story on that documentary, it just came across like somebody that was taking a lot of pleasure in trying to be one of the reasons why one of the dominoes fell in the house of fucking Central Cee. so he could sit back and relax and see it kind of coming tumbling down, and then maybe he could crown somebody else a new king. I don't know. I found that a bit disgusting. But the other stuff when it comes to just telling the stories about two warring or two rival gangs, no problem with it whatsoever. Just don't insert yourself and start talking about, oh yeah, they put numbers on the scoreboard. My God, did you see? Like, ugh, yuck. Anyway, continuing. Which goes back to the original point. Though he calls himself the hip-hop historian, his videos and stories rarely celebrate the positives of the culture, rather magnifying the sensationalist aspects that will bring him more views and infamy. It's no different to his buddy Academics' infamous War and Chirac series, making light of the Chicago crime wave, for which he has spectacularly pulled up on by Chicago rapper Vic Mensa a few years back. I wouldn't go that far. I don't think he's doing as bad as what the War on Chirac was. I just think the last few times I've seen Traplo Ross, he's just doing a bit too much. And this recent Vlad interview is a good example. He's talking from a place of like, I don't know, he's just talking from a place of badness, it feels like. He's trying to act like a tough guy. He's trying to come across condescending and smart. I don't know, I just don't like it. I think he needs to relax. I just don't like it. I think he needs to relax. When it comes to the UK scene, Ross has no interest in reporting the music or in the ecosystem that we've built over the 25 years. That's a good point, by the way. He doesn't really talk about music, does he? But again, would you want to listen to Traplo Ross's opinion on music? Can he even two-step? Can he clap on beat? I don't know. That's a problem. So I think maybe that's the position. Maybe the position that he has now is a position that he should be in. I don't necessarily want him breaking, new records, I don't want him talking about fake mink and that. Allow it. Stay over there, man. It's Ross has no interest in reporting on the musical ecosystem that we built over the last 25 years. Only in passing reference to the emphasis, only passing reference to emphasize a timeline of whatever gang war he's talking about at the time. It shows an obvious and maybe blatant disconnect from the rappers and scene he's profiting from. He exploits the music, people, stories he talks about, point blank period. Yeah, he does, but to be fair to him too, there's also an audience for it. Let's not be unfair. This article did say this the video talking about fucking the deadly gang war behind Central Cee on 1.1 million, and the video talking about Heady 1 v Tion Wayne's on fucking 3.9 or something, right? Or 3.3. There's obviously a market for it. There's obviously an audience for it. So we can't blame Traplo Ross too much. The fans and the viewers are also, telling him what to produce. That's what you do as a content creator, as a YouTuber. You kind of look at your views, look at your statistics, look at your stats, sorry. And if people are viewing a certain type of certain, genre of your content, you make more of it. Like it's not that shocking, to be honest. Let's see here. What's Traplo Ross says? Russ and Tion Wayne body is about catching bodies. Let me click this one. What's what? Yeah, he's tapped, man. He's fucking tapped. If you listen to that song, Body, then you'd know that is a fucking reach and a half. He's fucking tapped. You could argue that it's not that deep. It's simply reporting the facts of the situation, and these rappers should bear responsibility for their actions. But the act of reporting them and success of Ross has been seen as a result has no value. Not only are they inaccurate, as a UK content creator C. Valentina pointed out, analysing that his own Reddit fan base finds flaws in the factual statements he makes, they're destructive. When you report on these rappers' alleged or factual affiliations and the violence and trauma these have brought about, that does nothing for their careers. It doesn't represent the true nature of their culture over here. In fact, it takes away from the richness and nuances that they make us so great. Now, this I understand, but I also think they put in too much power and weight on Trapper Ross. I think if there are artists out there and all they do is talk about badness, all they do is talk about street stuff, all they do is talk about drillings, all they do is talk about sliding on their ops, all they do is talk about fucking putting up numbers, bodies, scoreboard this, scoreboard that, then that's all people are going to talk about. If that's all you're putting out there. If you're trying to change your image, if you're trying to put out a certain message, if you're trying to make your whatever all about the music, and then he's only reporting on the other shit you used to do, then you got every reason to complain. But I think a lot of these people that he does report on, a lot of their, relevance is kind of based upon how bad they are, how much of a goon they are, how much of a gangster they are. So I don't think it's a bad thing that he reports on it. It's just annoying that he's one of the bigger voices, garners a lot of the attention and shit, so it kind of makes it seem that that's all it's about. But if you really are into the music, you're really curious, you're really trying to get invested, you're really trying to be a part of the scene, you're gonna know that that's not the case. You're gonna do your due diligence, you're gonna do your homework and shit. By the way, I wonder if this is all written with Chat GPT. Is that why I'm struggling to read it? Because all these fucking these big dashes and shit, that's usually a good indication that this stuff's written with fucking AI and whatnot, innit? Anyway, well, let's continue. Trapper Ross doesn't prop up the people involved, he says, nor does he stimulate the scene in any meaningful way. But to be fair, which content creators do, There's not a lot of people that do stimulate the scene in a fucking meaningful way. We're all just out here fucking reporting on slop, putting out slop, you know what I mean? Just trying to slop our way out of this shit in our own little slop corner. To be fair, no one's really doing anything meaningful. If we're gonna be honest, the only people really doing anything meaningful are the people that create the music, are the people that create the events. Maybe some of the people that have the pages and shit. Those are people, or people doing the IRL events, like the festivals, like the fucking gigs and shit, the raves, the fucking cruises. Those are the people that are actually putting out good shit. But the rest of us are just like sloppers, We're out here fucking mass producing slop content. Trapper Ross doesn't pop up the people involved, nor does he stimulate the scene in any meaningful way. He hit a lick for himself and himself only, a carrot he can wave around when he's chilling with DJ Academics and 6ix9ine, who fundamentally don't respect what we built over here. But to be fair, I don't think he tries to act like he's trying. He never really talks about him trying to lift up the UK culture or represent it in any way, shape or form. He represents himself. He himself is interested in the UK culture and he kind of speaks about it, but I don't necessarily think he's trying to be a part of the industry and fly the flag. He's just doing his own thing, innit? I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing either. It's just what he does. And what we need is different. We need other people coming in who want to maybe prop up the scene, who want to maybe shine a light on a certain subsect of the industry or the genre, or artists who haven't maybe been gotten, that much of attention. And then they want to maybe use their platform to kind of wave the flag all around the world. That's fucking cool. But I don't think he has to. I don't think he wants to. I don't think he tries to, which I don't think is a bad thing. It continues. Rather than trying to educate those unfamiliar like Academics and 6ix9ine, he stands gleefully while they continue to disrespect our talent. Again, that's not his role. He shouldn't have to do that. Just because he's the one that busts through, that's out there, he shouldn't be required to tell people about our scene and educate. That's not his role. That's not his role. And I think that's okay. That's not his role. But I could be wrong. He plays into their hands of approval at our expense. He spews out worrying tropes and stereotypes that are becoming more dangerous by the day, and he seemingly enjoys it. Now, other onlookers looking to follow in his footsteps are likely to employ the same tactics, further diluting the concept of the genuine reporting of the scene. It will become even more of a rat race for views, exposure, and clicks rather than putting out content and love for the culture. By the way, make no mistake, right? Make no mistake, that's not happening unless the person's white. There's no way somebody else is gonna come up and do the same thing Traplo Ross does unless they're white. If replace Traplo Ross or Tanks, just imagine this scenario. Imagine that fucking run-in that Traplo Ross had with Central Cee at fucking Complex Con. Now replace Traplo Ross with Tanks. Replace Traplo Ross with, I don't know, what's his fucking face? Billy the Goat or whatever else. They're going to be putting hands and feet on him. Traplo Ross is very lucky, very fortunate. He looks and sounds and carries himself the way that he does. So I think it allows him certain blighs, you know? He gets let off on certain things. But I think if Traplo Ross looked like Tanks, I don't think he does as well, you know? I think the pressure would have been put on him way before he would have got a good talking to. He would have got, you know, he would have got gripped up in certain places. It would have been made very clear to him that he should not continue in this fashion. So, and that's one of those weird kind of like white privileges things that you can kind of get away with in the scene that way. What's this? This is a quote tweet from, who's this? Joseph J.P. Patterson. Traplo Ross doesn't represent anything to do with black music or in media. I need everyone to understand this. Guests of the culture need to know their place. Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. I'm not going to go with the whole like, because he's white, he doesn't deserve a place in media. I'm sure this guy, he works in media too. He probably has a ton of media people that he's friends with that are white who do good bits in media too. I don't think that's fair to say that. I just think it's unfortunate that him being in the place that he's in, instead of, you know, trying to uplift, trying to spread the gospel, trying to spread the word, trying to shine a light on popping sick new artists and shit, trying to educate others about what we've got going on, he's just, you know, doing a poetic flocko but here, you know. That's an unfortunate thing. But again, it's his content. He's free to do exactly what he wants with what he wants to do with it. Anyway, last paragraph. Traplo Ross isn't a sensationalist, isn't the first sensation to touch the roads. He won't be the last. But he's not even on the roads, to be fair. He's not even on the roads, let's be fair. But as somebody who claims to be a historian, he's on him to display this subject of all of its facets. But again, he was a historian. He's not anymore. He's not anymore. Especially when you consider just how prevalent the gang culture is. If you don't get to make light of it, no matter what the demand of your type of content is. This saga will no doubt spark debate about the kind of character the scene lets in and whether guests of the culture should know their place. I don't like how that sounds. I don't like how that sounds, because reverse the roles or have somebody go into a white space, somebody say that about us, we're going to be fucking rioting in the streets. I don't like how that sounds. I think everybody should be allowed in as long as you got passion, as long as you got fucking interest in what you know, you want to take part in the scene, you love it, you want to spread the gospel, you want to be, you know, add to it and shit, you want to fucking leave your mark, whatever else it may be. I think everyone should be open. Everyone should be welcome to open arms as long as you got a good heart, good intentions, all that fucking good shit. I don't think we should be discriminating people based on their race and shit, or say, oh, because you're white, you don't have a place. Oh. I think that's a madness. Because if the roles were reversed, we wouldn't like it. If we went into the metal world and say that they started telling us about knowing your place, about you're a guest and shit, that would sound nuts. You know what I mean? That would sound nuts. So I'm not really for all that sort of stuff, but I get it. Traplo Ross does get on people's nerves, so I get why they're saying that. This saga will no doubt spark debate about the kind of characters the scene lets in and whether the guests of the culture should know their place. As a guest, being respectful is paramount. In the case of Traplo Ross, he has been allowed to profit off of black pain for entirely too long, using his privilege to access certain circles and throw it back in our faces. He needs to reassess what he really does all for this for and what brought him to the point in the first place, because it wasn't and it isn't for us. Again, I don't think he's in it for us. He's in it for himself, which is okay. I just would rather he stop with the antagonizing, stop with the fucking gaslight, stop with the fucking provoking, stop with the instigating, stop with the inserting himself in the narratives, in the storylines. You're not that important. You're not part of the story. Just report on what you see, comment on what you see, and keep it pushing. You don't need to insert yourself in, make these fucking things, pit people against each other. I don't like it. I think it's fucking shitty. If anything as well, he's kind of pitting. I know they're already warring, but he's kind of instigating this thing between Central Cee and Digger D a little bit. Oh, always emphasizing how much Digger D's the realer one and Central Cee's the fake. And anyway, whatever. Big up Trench though. Good article. Big up Trench. Interested to see if Traplo Ross does reply to this himself. I'll be curious to see if Traplo Ross ends up replying to this article himself at some point. I'll be curious to see if that happens. Okie dokie. Moving on. Let's talk about what we saw on the fucking thumbnail. Introducing iPhone Pocket, a beautiful way to wear and carry your phone. Now, I don't think it looks that beautiful, but it's interesting regardless. So this is ISSEY MIYAKE have designed a. It looks like a really long sock with a slit in it or something. It's a strange design, but essentially what you can see there, it's like a sock. It's like a sock design. Imagine a long sock design with a slit at the top, halfway through. So essentially, you can put your arm through it. You can put the slit through your body, but then the phone stays at the bottom of the sock type of thing, which kind of, I would imagine, make it quite fiddly to pull in and out. It doesn't also seem like the most secure thing to wear, but you know, a lot of people use their phones like this, right? They have like cases that they use where they can kind of carry their phones like a crossbody bag type of thing. So it's not super uncommon, but it does look a little bit weird. It looks a little bit, doesn't look like the most secure thing in the world. And I just think the timing's a bit off, because especially with nowadays, with the prevalence of these fucking kids on these fucking souped up e-bikes riding around central London, jacking people's phones while they walk down the street and shit, it seems like this is probably not the safest way to kind of carry your phone, you know, because all someone has to do is kind of rip or slip the fucking sock and that thing's off. Or just pull it, maybe even, you know, maybe pull it with a lot of force, and there's a possibility they could just rip that whole thing off your body. So it's not the safest thing in the world. But let's read the article. Press release, courtesy of Apple. They say ISSEY MIYAKE and Apple today launched or unveiled the iPhone Pocket. Inspired by the concept of a piece of cloth, its singular 3D knit construction is designed to fit any iPhone as well as all pocketable items. Beginning Friday, the November 14th, it will be available at select Apple stores, apple.com in France, Greater China, Italy, Japan, Singapore, South Korea, UK, and the US. iPhone Pocket features a ribbed, open structure with the qualities in the original pleats by ISSEY MIYAKE. So it's a ISSEY MIYAKE pleat design in a way, which also doesn't seem like a good idea, innit? ISSEY MIYAKE pleat. I know some of it is elasticated, but some of it also doesn't really. I don't know. It doesn't seem like a good idea. Born from the idea of creating an additional pocket, its understated design fully encloses iPhone, expanding to fit more of the user's everyday items. When stretched, the open textile subtly reveals its contents, allows users to peek at their phone's display. The iPhone Pocket can be worn as a variety of ways: handheld, tied onto bags. Okay, that makes sense, on the fucking straps, worn directly on the body, featuring a colorful palette. The short strap design is available in 8 colors, and the long strap design is available in 3. So I wonder if this pleat fabric was this fabric that's left over. I wonder, just like the kind of production of it, was this just fabric that they had left over on the cutting room floor, or did they specifically buy this fabric or cut it in these shapes for this sock design? I wonder. Like, no, obviously they had to cut it in specific shapes, but I wonder if the material itself was stuff that's left over or stuff that they specifically cut for this. Because if it's stuff that's left over, that's a very clever way to extract more money over stuff you're probably going to trash, right? Stuff that you're probably going to incinerate, you're probably going to end up in a fucking landfill somewhere. If you just take that material and I don't know, they're probably going to be charging what, $300 for this? I don't know what the price is retail, but I'm guessing it's going to be like $300 maybe per piece, and maybe cost price each of this might be like cost price, it might be like £1, if that, you know, and they're selling it for like, you know what I mean, like 300 quid. Like, Jesus Christ. Let's look at some pictures. So there you got the strap. So that's a longer design, right? That's the strap with the longer design in 3 colors, and that's the shorter design available in the, what is it, 6 colors. Or in the 8 colors. 8 colors shorter, 3 colors longer design. The design of the iPhone Pocket speaks to the bond between iPhone and its user. The bond. It's a sock, mate. Relax. While keeping in mind that Apple products are designed to be universal and aesthetic and versatile in use, shared Yoshiyuki Miyamai, design director of MIYAKE Design Studios. iPhone and Pocket explores the concept of the joy wearing an iPhone in your own way. The simplicity of the design echoes what we practice at ISSEY MIYAKE, the idea of leaving things less defined to allow for possibilities and personal interpretation. Leaving things less defined. I always feel as if ISSEY MIYAKE is quite defined in what they do. You know, there is the personal interpretation is obviously how you wear it, but it's not like it's not as if you can take, I don't know. I feel like everybody wears ISSEY MIYAKE pleat pants the same way, if that makes any sense. You can't really wear it a different way, if that makes any sense. It's curious that they see themselves as a brand that is less defined to allow people for their own, when really I feel like everybody I've seen wearing pleat pants, they all look the same, you know? Like, there's nowhere else, how else are you going to wear them? Type of thing. But again, I could be wrong. Apple and ISSEY MIYAKE share a design approach that celebrates craftsmanship, simplicity, and delight, says Molly Anderson, Apple's Vice President of Industrial Design. That's a title, isn't it? That's something that's something I would actually be on it to go back to uni for, you know, to do like an MA or something in industrial design. I would love to do that. I'm not going to lie. That might be something, you know, when I start really hitting the heady heights and shit, again, instead of buying a Lamborghini Urus, I think I might just go into more debt and just say, you know what, let's get another education, bro. Let's just get more. Let's get another qualification somewhere else, you know what I mean? Because that's a fucking sexy title. Apple's Vice President of Industrial Design. Oof, love that. This clever extra pocket exemplifies those designs and the natural accompaniment to our products. The color palette of the iPhone Pocket is intentionally designed to mix and match with all our phone models and colors, allowing users to create their own personalized combination. They're talking about colors of socks. They're talking about colors of socks as if it's like a Pantone book, right? As if they're designing something in CAD, as if they're fucking piecing something together in like, it's a fucking sock that comes in 8 colors. Like, relax, man. What is all this? What is all this talk? Like, just to create their own personalized combination, this recognizable silhouette offers a beautiful new way to carry your iPhone. A beautiful new way to carry your iPhone, you know. You could do the same thing if you have a sweatshirt. You could get your sweatshirt, put your phone in the bottom sleeve of put your phone in your sleeve, tie a knot across your body, and that's the same thing. I swear you could do the same thing, no? Like, you know how people tie their sweatshirts across their body? You could take the sleeves of your sweatshirt, put your phone in one of the sleeves at the end, knot it, and then walk around like that. Bob's your uncle, granny's your aunt. Its recognizable silhouette offers a beautiful new way to carry your iPhone, AirPods, and favorite everyday items. Don't get me wrong, that's a bit of a flex, right? Having a little strap that says ISSEY MIYAKE on the side, that's pretty cool, right? You can imagine Celine, Phoebe Philo, maybe even the fucking Row. You can imagine all these brands deciding to do the same sort of thing, having these little straps, you know. And again, it's probably a good way to get people to come into your world, to come into your brand, offering these kind of like entry level products. I can see Marc Jacobs doing something like this, maybe, you know. I know fucking, what's their fucking name? I know Arise or Aries. They've got a couple straps that they do similar to these sort of things. So I could definitely see maybe Acne Studios will come through and do something as well. Who knows? But yeah, fucking interesting design that they're fucking talking about as if it's like the greatest thing ever. It's like, it's not that deep, bro. It looks so right, but it's like, a piece of cloth crafted in Japan. The iPhone Pocket features a singular 3D knit construction that is a result of research development carried out at ISSEY MIYAKE. The design drew inspiration from the concept of a piece of cloth and reinterpretation of the everyday utility of brands' iconic pleated clothing. The development and the design of the iPhone Pocket unfolded in close collaboration with the Apple Design Studio, which provided insight into the design and production throughout. So yeah, this is something, I don't know, this is something I'm going to imagine seeing a lot of Asian people wearing anyway, point blank. But it also feels incredibly irresponsible and reckless to use, especially in London nowadays, given the climate of the phone jackers out there. Having this just strapped to your fucking ISSEY MIYAKE bag like this, it seems like you're asking for trouble. You know, fuchsia pink ISSEY MIYAKE strap, ISSEY MIYAKE pocket sock thing, strapped onto your ISSEY MIYAKE bag, what's that bag called? The Polygon, whatever that fucking bag was called that everyone likes. This tote bag that they make. Like, you know what I mean? Imagine strapping this to the side of your Birkin. This seems like a very bad idea. This seems like a very bad idea. More sock designs there, as you can see. Again, will it rip as well at the top there? Is it going to rip there? I wonder if it'll rip. It looks kind of well constructed. I'm not going to lie. It's pleated, but it's also like it's kind of pleated, but not really. Not the pleat that I remember, or the pleat that I'm used to, because there's a bit of a net design behind it. It's pleated, but it's also kind of, it goes across to the back. The material is a bit different. I wonder if they did that material on purpose to kind of help to hold the phone and hold the funds in there properly. But there's also the bit here at the back. There's also kind of a mesh here, another layer. It's like 2 layers. Like there's, yeah, see, there's like another little fabric towards the back here of the sock itself. Interesting. Availability: the iPhone Pocket is a special edition release. The short strap design is available in lemon, mandarin, purple, pink, peacock, sapphire, cinnamon, and black. The long strap design is available in sapphire, cinnamon, and black. iPhone Pocket in the short strap is available. Wow, £139.95 for the short one, and basically 140 for the short, 220 for the long. That's fucking a lot of money, isn't it? £220. God damn. Customers can purchase the iPhone Pocket beginning Friday the 14th of November. Yo, they are not playing around, bro. £140 for the short design and $220 for the fucking long design. They are definitely not playing around. You want that ISSEY MIYAKE sock? You want that ISSEY MIYAKE strap? You're paying for it. You're paying for it. Fucking hell. That's a lot of money, bro. 140, 220. Shit. Okay, fair play. But I can't wait to see more brands trying to exploit, trying to rinse us fashion people. I'm sure Rick Owens are going to come out with something. Maybe their one will just be like a leather thing or something. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a fucking harness. Maybe it'll be like a fucking choker, actually. Maybe Rick Owens will make a choker or some sort of butt plug that you can hold your phone in or something. I don't know. I'm curious to see what Acne Studios will do, like I mentioned before. Maybe Balenciaga will do something. Maybe Bottega will do something. I don't know. I'm curious to see if people are going to start jumping on this, because this is a really easy way to make some easy, quick money if you're that way inclined. A very, very easy way to make some easy and quick money if you're that way inclined. Anyways, people, that has been the Agostinho Zinga Show, episode number 967. I've got to jet off quickly now because the random show is about to start in about a couple of minutes, so please forgive me. Those of you listen to the audio side of the pod, you won't care, you won't know, but you'll be listening to the sound of my tune of the day playing underneath my voice. The tune of the day for me playing underneath my voice will be Blaqbonez. I want to play Just Hustlin, because it's an album that I've really enjoyed called No Excuses. I want to play Just Hustlin, but I'm thinking if I should maybe go and play Go Crazy instead. Maybe I'll play Go Crazy. I'll play Go Crazy. Go Crazy featuring Blaqbonez is going to be my song of the day. So make sure you enjoy that as you listen to it underneath my voice on the audio side of the pod. If you're watching this podcast, you won't hear anything. It's going to fade to black. And I'll see you guys again later on tomorrow for another episode of the Agostinho Zinga Show. And those of you watching the show live, you'll be switched over to the random show. Should be starting in about 10 minutes. So thank you for tuning in. Agostinho Zinga Show episode number 967. Been a pleasure to have your company. See you guys again very, very soon. But for now, be well, be safe. Peace.